By 1930, the silent film era was entirely dead. Sound had arrived, and talkies completely dominated the Hollywood studio system. This new technology created an immediate crisis. Studios suddenly needed performers who understood how to project, pace, and control their voices on cue. To fill this massive talent gap, film executives turned their attention directly toward the Broadway stage. The solution came in the form of four men fresh off immense theatrical success: Groucho, Harpo, Chico, and Zeppo Marx. Their stage shows were deeply physical, rapid-fire, and defined by total unscripted anarchy. Before a Hollywood camera ever rolled, their production of Animal Crackers had already played to packed Broadway houses for over 300 performances. Through months of live nightly shows, the brothers had ruthlessly fine-tuned every musical number, physical gag, and piece of banter. Translating that massive, unpredictable energy onto the silver screen meant going to war with the very recording equipment designed to capture it. Production was staged on the East Coast at Paramount's Astoria Studios in Queens, New York. This location allowed the brothers to maintain a punishing schedule, shooting the film throughout the day and still performing their theatrical run every single night. Their first obstacle, the massive weight of early audio equipment. Because these large microphones couldn't move, they were heavily disguised within the set. Actors had to hit highly specific, static marks. Moving even inches meant the recording was entirely lost. For performers whose entire comedy relied on constant, frantic movement across a stage, these static audio setups felt like a physical cage. To capture anything resembling their actual routine, the director had to find creative ways to bypass the rigid technical rules of early sound cinema. The stationary microphones weren't the only problem. Early film cameras generated a loud, continuous mechanical clicking that ruined the audio tracks. To silence them, the industry locked both the cameras and their operators inside heavy, soundproof glass boxes right in the middle of the set. These booths were entirely unventilated, leaving the trapped cameramen sweating through hours of grueling production. Knowing this, the Marx Brothers made a game out of targeting these structures, performing their most ridiculous physical gags directly at the captive operators. Their goal was simple: force the exhausted cameramen to laugh out loud, which would bleed through the glass and force the crew to scrap the audio take. The Astoria set functioned as an adversarial battleground between the technical precision of the operators and the brothers' anarchic performance style. Behind the camera, there was also a battle over the text. Writers George S. Kaufman and Maury Reiskind had crafted a brilliantly structured, satirical play. The Marx Brothers, however, treated that carefully written script as a loose set of suggestions, constantly improvising over the dialogue. Director Victor Heerman quickly realized that enforcing the written word was impossible. Instead, he allowed the brothers to run completely wild during rehearsals. Heerman stood by, noted down the absolute funniest ad-libs from those sessions, and then strictly held the brothers to those specific jokes once the cameras were finally rolling. This clever compromise successfully bridged the gap between the chaotic spontaneity of a live vaudeville stage and the strict continuity required for a feature film. Animal Crackers hit theaters in August of 1930, right as the country was sinking into the harsh economic reality of the Great Depression. The film offered an immediate, joyous escape. Audiences lined up at physical theaters to trade their daily financial misery for pure absurdity. The film immortalized Groucho's most recognizable character, the grease-paint-mustached African explorer, Captain Jeffrey T. Spaulding. When Groucho delivered his famous line about shooting an elephant in his pajamas, the massive audience response proved that their rapid-fire comedy had successfully bypassed the static microphones. The resulting box office success cemented the Marx Brothers as cinematic icons who rewrote the roles of American screen comedy. Animal Crackers remains a historical time capsule, capturing an era where Hollywood struggled to reconcile rigid sound technology with the fluid, physical energy of the vaudeville stage. This was brought to you by Stalls or Circle. Thank you for listening.